Shams Charania has reported that multiple teams are pursuing Morant in trade talks, and rival executives believe the Grizzlies would prioritize draft picks and young players in return. Sources said Morant, 26, is under contract with the Grizzlies through the 2027-28 season. So I have to say, this is not surprising at all. I have made videos for the last few years about how the Grizzlies need to get rid of Ja Morant, aka Ja Fools, as I call him, because he fools around and he doesn't take basketball seriously. He's more committed in being a wannabe street gangster than a basketball player, which is a shame since I feel Ja Morant could be a top three guard in this league if he was actually serious, if he actually cared about winning, but he doesn't. And it is very disappointing. I look at his talent. To me, he makes me think of like a combination of Isaiah Thomas and Allen Iverson. Those two guys were dynamic small guards in the league. Ja Morant is a little bit taller. He's more athletic than those guys. He has a quick speed, just like those guys did. He may be a top two, top three fastest player in the league. That's how athletically gifted this guy is. On top of that, I feel he has the best hang time since Michael Jordan. Now, I'm not saying he's as good as Michael Jordan as a player, but I'm saying his hang time is on the same level. Go watch some highlights when you see Ja Morant get up in the air, and it's like he's hanging in the air for like several seconds, like MJ used to when he was playing, that it allows him to make ridiculous finishes when he's in the air between two or three defenders. It's insane. He's a very exciting player, and I think he had the chance. He had the chance to be iconic, and maybe he still does, but I'm not sure he'll turn around. Granted, he's still young, but he could be an iconic player if he actually was serious about basketball. Like he's like what Stephen A. Smith would say, box office. He has that ability, but he just doesn't have the heart or the desire to be great. And the Grizzlies played a huge role in this. They spoiled him. They pampered him. They allowed him to get away with all his stupid antics, his nonsense. They wouldn't punish him when he did the wrong things. They would just give him a slap on the wrist. And I think it was because they were just so scared of offending him. And they always wanted to appease him simply because they wanted him to be a Grizzly for the rest of his career. They were just so hell-bent in giving him what he wants, which to me is not the way to go in any relationship, whether it's sports, personal, friends, or family. You don't try to appease people because then they're going to take advantage of you and abuse you. You do give them respect based on what they've done, and you do reward them for that, but you don't overdo it. And I felt the Grizzlies did that. They allowed him to get away with some horrible things. They allowed him and his friends to harass people, get in trouble off the court. There's stories in Memphis of his friends and him bullying people at stores and all this other stuff. There was just some articles I read about that a few years ago. And the Grizzlies enabled all of this. To me, that to me was shameful. And I'm not saying that the Grizzlies are a legendary franchise or they have a championship history like the Spurs or Lakers or Celtics or Bulls. But at the same time, they had somewhat of a winning tradition when they had the grindhouse with Marc Gasol and Zebo, Zach Randolph, Tony Allen, Michael Conley. Those teams were grit and grind, as they would say, and they were a winning team. They were one of the top power teams in the West. They made to the conference finals a few times. So they had a legacy of at least being a competitive team, an elite team before Ja got there. Granted, they were in rebuilding once they drafted Ja, but it wasn't like their first rodeo when it came to being a winning franchise. And they just dropped the ball on this, especially the ownership and the way they coddled this guy. They handled him with kid gloves. So as much as Ja Morant is responsible for his downfall in Memphis, the Grizzlies organization should share half the blame for this because they enabled all this nonsense with, like I said, with his friends, his dad, and the antics, and just all the stupid things that he brought to the table. So now it comes down to having to trade him. And I said that just like a few years ago that there was just no way you could turn around with him because they had no control over him, and Ja does not respect them because of the antics he keeps on doing, such as the gun gestures and all the other stuff, that he just felt he could do whatever he wanted and it would be fine. Like, it to me, it was ridiculous. Like, I just remember that one time, I think it was a year or two ago, where the Grizzlies had him go to like mental rehab for like 2 or 3 days to avoid him getting a major suspension by the NBA. That was another slap on the wrist, and it didn't help them out long term. So now they're in this mess. And I wonder where they're going to trade into because I don't think this can be fixed. I definitely think it's going to happen. So that'll be interesting. I don't know who is going to make that trade, who will swing for the fences for this trade for Ja. That I don't know. I really can't. I really can't. Make a prediction. Who knows what's going to happen? It'll be very interesting where he lands if he can just be willing to change and start off with a clean slate and be reformed. Whatever team lands him, he can do a lot of damage. He can have like a career rejuvenation, but it's really up to him. He has to make that decision. Does he want to be a basketball player? Is he committed to being the best he can be? If he is, then I would say look out because whoever gets him is going to get a steal, and he could go on a major resurgence. It's happened before in NBA history. Some guys are able to turn around once they get to a new team, and I definitely think Ja Morant needs to be on a new team. He needs to be humbled in the sense, and I think when you get traded, it does humble you. And I hope as an NBA fan that he does turn around because he is a very exciting player to watch when he's committed. And when we have more players like him, when they're serious, it makes the league more exciting and competitive. So hopefully he can turn around. He definitely needs to turn around. Him and Zion Williamson both need a attitude adjustment, as they say. And it's ironic, both of them are in the same draft and both are malcontents. One was number 1 and the other was number 2. So I don't have anything else to say about this.